Welcome back, guys. For those of us who believe that our relatives cannot hurt our own children, listen to this. There was this couple that once lived with two young men and a girl. The girl was the house help, and the two young men, one was the man's nephew, and the other one was the woman's nephew. And this man, the owner of the house, had a shop where these two young men normally stay, while his wife will go and stay in her own shop. So one day, these two young men they were in the shop, and the wife's nephew said that he wanted to go to the house and eat, and it was afternoon. So the husband's nephew said, "Okay, please hurry up so that you can come back and I will go and eat too. You know we cannot leave the shop at the same time. My uncle is not around." So the other one went to the house and overstayed. At a point, this other one was like, why is this young man not back? Let me hurry up and go and eat. I don't know why he's wasting time. So he locked the shop and went to the house and knocked on the door. And the man's children opened. The house help was not around. So he said he went straight to the other one's room to find out what happened. And on opening the room, he found out that this young man was on top of their cousin, their little cousin, that's their uncle's 6-year-old daughter. And then he screamed because he was shocked. And the young man stood up and started begging and ran away. While begging, ran away, picked his clothes and ran away from the room. So he said he started crying and went and carried that little girl up and dressed her and started asking her questions. Did he hurt you? Did he penetrate anything into your body? And she said no, that he came back and he ate, and then next thing he called her and said, "Come to my room." Entered his room and called her and said, "Come to my room." And she went to his room and he said, "Lie down on the bed," and he lay down and she lay down on the and he removed her clothes by himself. I said, "Lie down on the bed, I want to teach you something." So she lay down on the bed, and then he also removed his clothes and lay down on top of her. And that was when he walked in, that his other cousin, the one was related to her dad. So she didn't even understand the reason for those questions because she was too small. And thank God that this guy had not perfected his ambition, his immoral ambition. So he said he took the girl out of the young man's room and said, "Stay with your siblings till we come back." And then went back to the shop and opened the shop, and the guy was nowhere to be found. He didn't come back to the shop. And when he later closed the shop for the day and went back to their house, everybody was back for his auntie and his uncle that the young man was no more there. And when they waited, they went to his room and found out that he had packed all his stuff and he ran away. So the children said he came back and carried his things and ran away. And then they started making calls and asking questions. And then his parents said he was back to their house. What am I saying? These people actually took in their relatives, believing that their children will be safe with them, they will not hurt them. Normally, it's what it's supposed to be, but the world has become something else that I don't just know how people think. People keep on abusing children sexually, both relatives and non-relatives. Please, let us be careful. You don't need to overtrust. Teach these children simple tips. And when you need someone to help, you know how to make your arrangements so that these children will be safe. Imagine when someone that is like 5 or 10 years older than a child is in the same environment with the child and trying to abuse the child. There is simply no way the child can escape. The only way is for us parents to be careful enough to know how to handle these situations. Yes, in as much as we need help, we should always know how to handle these situations. Make room for this and that. Think about this. Think outside the box. What do I do because of this or because of that? How do I schedule this? How do I go about this? For the sake of the safety of those children. All these things are real life, true life stories. It has happened to people. We don't need to let these things happen to us before we, learn from them and know what to do. Okay? Have a nice day. Like and subscribe. All right. Bye.